We talk a lot about probate, but actually that also includes trust administration. And trust administration is when somebody dies and they have a trust. There's still a process you have to go through to settle the estate. And is it fair to say probate's the process of settling an estate when you don't have a trust?
Yes, I'd say that.
If somebody comes in for the first time, Hallie, and they say, what's this thing about probate and why do I have to go through it? What's your answer to that?
My answer is always to pass what you have to your beneficiaries, to the people you care about, in an efficient, time-efficient, cost-efficient manner. And that's what probate does. It goes from you to your beneficiaries.
Yeah, I always talk about, I remember in law school they talked about, when you buy a piece of real estate, and they always called it Blackacre in law school, that there was a chain of title. And if you think about a deed, one guy signs a deed over to you, and when you're ready to sell it, you sign the deed over to somebody else. And you can always research that chain of who owned the property. And I've always thought that probate's the process where the chain actually breaks, right? So the title to the property, Blackacre, was in, say, the husband's name alone as a sole and separate property, and he died. There's really no mechanism for somebody to deed that property over to the next person. And so probate steps in to say, and this is the probate court, they say, well, we'll connect that chain, but you've got to go through this process of making sure that there's no creditors and making sure that the will is valid and some of these other points we're going to go into more detail. But is that kind of what you view probate as, just connect, the chain's broken and we've got to connect it?
Absolutely. And the court, through that process, gives the person who has authority a golden ticket. And so this golden ticket is what gives them the chance to reconnect the chain.
Yeah, what is that golden ticket?
In Arizona, that's called the Letters of Personal Representative, and that's a document stamped by the court.
Yeah.
And that person then can go and sign a deed, collect a bank account, collect a life insurance, anything. They have the authority as if they were the owner.
I've always looked at that letters testamentary as like a power of attorney for a dead person or a decedent. I think most people understand a power of attorney when you're alive. If I'm out of the country and my wife needs to sell the car or create a bank account or whatever thing that I want her to do, she's got that power of attorney to do. Now sometimes people, Hallie, will say, hey, my dad died, I've got power of attorney, I went in to use it at the bank. Why won't banks follow powers of attorney?
Well, powers of attorney are only valid when you're living. And because there could be multiple wills out there, we just don't know, we need some authority, and that's the probate court, to tell us that this is the right person. And that's what the probate process does.
Yeah, and I think once you understand that this letters testamentary really is a power of attorney for a decedent, that'll help you go a long ways.